right now I've got a absolutely brilliant, wonderful, dynamic lady who's coming up, who's going to talk about taxation and VAT in the UAE and how that affects you. And then after that, we're going to talk about a buzzword that it's got everybody going right now. All company owners, small business owners who've never paid attention to this are now thinking, oh my God, I should have looked at it. So social media is going to be one. Social media and marketing is going to be our last topic today after we're done with this presentation. So stay on for that, and then we're going to have a panel discussion. So please also keep your questions coming in. We are taking note of each and every question, and we intend to ask this to our panelists. But right now is a very, very special moment, because I would like to bring up on screen CA Vibha Malik Modi. Now, Vibha Malik Modi is a chartered accountant from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. She's completed a bachelor's in commerce with honors from Delhi University. She holds an MBA in business administration, and she's the co-founder and head consultant of Horizon Business Consultancy. And she has a work experience of more than a decade in the field of direct and indirect taxation. She has served more than 500 clients for implementation of GST and VAT in India and in the UAE, and her main expertise lies in VAT penalties and refunds. Now, this is very important because this is crucial in this situation to a lot of you who are on this webinar, who are listening in and they want to understand how does FTA look at VAT. You've got to stay with us and listen to what Vibha has to say, because she brings to this webinar very, very rich experience of consultancy, of international taxation and international expansion of business. So ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Ms. Vibha Modi. Let's have Vibha on the screen right now. So Vibha, if you're here with us this evening, thank you so much. It's good to see you. For all those of you who don't know, Vibha is right now stuck in India, but she's coming across the sea and chatting with us on this. Vibha, welcome, and thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Errol. Thank you very much for your kind introduction. Yeah, I stuck in India. That is true. So you can say it is an advantage and disadvantage both. So we have office in India also. So work from home country is going on, but let's see, the situation will be better soon. So thank you very much, Errol, for giving me this opportunity. So guys, lots of information, already 4 speakers are there who legal consultants, auditors, business setup services, management consultants. So you guys are like, how much things you need to take care during this crisis time. Already there are so many, negativity, and the problems are going around. So it's not like this. Let me ask you a question, or you can say let you ask yourself a question. Have you ever read any story, or have you ever watched any movie or any series on Netflix or any other channel where there is no problem in the first lesson or first chapter of the book, or at the initial stage of the series or movie? Have you ever seen? Is that interest you when there is no twist or no problem at all? So if you think about that thing, then you will get your answer that there is no interest if there is no problem. So when there is no problem in our life, we are always asking, oh Allah, God, when the life is so boring, there is no excitement, and when the surprises are here, then we say it's a problem. So guys, it's not a problem, it's opportunity, it's a starting of a new lesson of life. So let's be in that together. We all are here to help you, to get you guide what things you need to take care from the law perspective. And if I talk about my presentation, it will be regarding VAT or VAT law, the things which you need to take care if you are taking the tough decision to liquidate your business. My presentation is just focused on that, and there are a few points I'm going to cover, that how you're going to manage your cash flow. So let's start with a poll question so that I can get the idea that how much you guys are used to with your VAT law and how serious about that. So Errol, can we start the poll question with first poll question of mine?
I'll jump in now, Vibha, and if you can just go into slideshow mode on your laptop so that we can see the screen fully. And the poll question that's going to come up on screen right now for everybody is, have you ever faced a VAT penalty while operating your business till date in the UAE? VAT is now, I think, nearly or 3 years old, the introduction of VAT in the UAE. So here's a question going out to all of you. We want to know from you, have you ever faced a VAT penalty? Please pick one of the two, either it's a yes or a no. Can we have more of you engaging and sharing with us your valuable experience? Have you faced a VAT penalty ever in the UAE till date? Is it a yes or a no? Of course, we would be more than happy to see no coming in strongly, but we do see a lot of people also who believe that who have experienced a VAT penalty. So thank you so much. Keep voting, people. Keep voting, and we can see a lot of votes coming in, and that's brilliant. Thank you so much for reaching out and voting. And let's close that poll and share the answers with Ms. Vibha. Ms. Vibha, 17% of our attendees have actually faced a VAT penalty. 17%. Fortunately, 83% haven't faced a VAT penalty yet, but 17 have got hit. So over to you, ma'am.
Yeah. So it's a good thing that if you have not ever faced the VAT penalty, because you know who faced, they know how much those penalties are. The VAT come, but the tax is 5%, but you know the penalties are far more than the percentage of tax. So it's good to be precautionary if it comes to VAT, because it is very important to take care of tax laws, because the penalties of UAE VAT is very high. People who already face, they are aware about that. So today we are going to discuss the points which you need to take care if you're liquidating your company, and liquidating your company, and things you need to take care to manage your cash flow through VAT perspective. Okay, so first thing, regarding the liquidation of the company, if your company is going to get into the liquidation, then they need to get the clearance certificate. So this is a recent development introduced by the FTA, that how you can get the clearance certificate and what is it all about. Then the second thing we are going to discuss is mode of liquidation. There are two modes described by FTA, that how you are going to liquidate and what will be your liability on the same, on all the scenarios. And the last but very least, not the least, things you need to take care if you're restructuring your business or you're selling your business. Okay, so let's start with clearance certificate. So what is clearance certificate? Clearance certificate is a certificate which is provided by FTA for non-due of registrants. Okay, so it is a certificate which proves that there is no liability of the registrant to FTA. So this FTA is provided, this certificate is provided by FTA. The same process you have applied for the VAT registration certificate is followed by for this clearance certificate. It will take minimum 20 days, and there is no service charge for clearing the certificate. There are few documentation, few proofs you need to submit for the same, and then you will get the clearance certificate. This is a very recent amendment, and the need of this certificate is then closing authorities, DD companies, or you can say the free zone authorities, who the banks, they are going to ask they are going to ask the certificate, because they want to know what is your liability towards FTA. So this is a certificate. The purpose I shared with you, it is required by liquidators and the bankers many a time, free zone authorities and DD authority. So maybe in future it is going to be the compulsory that you need to have clearance certificate from FTA regarding your VAT non-liability payments if you are going for liquidation in future. So the next is selling of business. The next second part of the presentation is how you are going to sell your business, through sale of assets or through sale of shares. So you can sell your business in two ways. Either you are going to sell, you know, one-to-one sales. You are going to sell your all assets individually and your liabilities accordingly. Second, you can just transfer the ownership of the you can just transfer the ownership of the shares, and the licensee, the purchaser of the licensee is changed. So what will be your liability on the same, we are going to discuss today. So if you're selling your business through sale of assets, then the liability of VAT will be on this every sale of asset. And if you're going to sell your business through sale of shares, and the purchaser of your company is going to continue the same business, then there will not be any liability on sale of your business. So both the things you need to take care, that how you're going to sell your business. And if you are going to sell your business in the second way, like in the sale of share, then it is a responsibility of the seller to collect it, to check whether the purchaser is going to continue the business or not. If the purchaser is not going to continue the business, then you need to pay 5% on the same. For that clarification, you can get the declaration certificate or any declaration letter from the purchaser of the your business, that they are going to continue the business. So if the business is continue, then there is no liability of VAT. But yes, if the business is not continue, then the liability of VAT of 5% is there. And in case of sale of shares, if you are selling your business individually, like on the every sale of assets, you have to charge 5% and pay the same to FTA. So, what are the things you need to consider when you're selling your business, other than the above which I mentioned? There need to be the amendment of VAT certificate. So when you're selling your business and it is through the sale of shares, then the details of the authorized signatory, the owner of the license, is changed. So that amendment you need to do in FTA portal too, because as per the law, this is a compulsory and this is a liability of the seller. You can say that you need to make sure that whether the amendment of the authorized signatory or the license, updated license, is amended in FTA portal or not. Otherwise, if the authorized signatory details is not updated on the portal, that means that ultimately this is your liability. Your passport and Emirates ID is already on the FTA portal. So you need to make sure that if the amendment on the sale of shares, your business is selling through sale of shares, then the amendment of VAT certificate should be there. You need to amend the authorized signatory details and the license detail. Otherwise, there will not be any liability of the purchaser to the FTA. The liability will be yours if you have not changed the details. Or you can make sure that the purchaser made the amendment in your VAT certificate. Then again is if you are closing your business through sale of assets. So sale of assets means that you are just selling one assets or liability to the person. There is no transfer of ownership. The license is you are going into the liquidation. The license is closed. Then you have the liability of application of deregistration of VAT. This is a very important point here. The deregistration application, that you want to close your account with FTA, and this is the your liability to make the application for deregistration within 30 days of the closing of business. If you have not done, and if you are not going to do that, then there is a liability of 10,000 dirham for the same. And it is very sad to tell you that lots of people are facing this problem. Even we came across in many practical cases where people don't have initially, when VAT is new, people just registered for VAT. Even they don't have the minimum threshold limit, and they're just filing the nil returns. Even some of are missing on that also. They are not filing the returns. So what happened after 1 year? If there is no sale, and after 1 year FTA came to them that why you are not, why there is no sale and you registered with FTA, why you have not applied for deregistration? So they levied the penalty of 10,000 dirham for non-application of deregistration. And with that, if they have not filed a return, then again there is a penalty of 1,000 per quarter for the first quarter, and from second quarter it is 2,000. So for 3 quarters it is 6,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, and then it is 1,000. So total penalty is 7,000 for non-filing of VAT return and 10,000 for late application of deregistration. So the total is 17,000 penalty is there without doing anything, and those all businesses are very small. So you can understand that there is no fault on behalf of the registrant, but they are not aware about VAT law. So that's why they are liable for penalty. So many small businesses in these crises prefer to just shut down the business. And even without, if you're not paying this penalty, then you cannot get the clearance certificate, and you cannot close, and you cannot deregister from VAT. So then you have to apply for reconsideration form. You have to apply a request to FTA that this is not a intention to break the law. It is just the law is new and there is a mistake from our side. And if FTA thinks that your intention is not wrong, then they can waive the penalty. But there are kind of penalties in VAT. So you need to take care. This is a very small example of penalty which I have given to you. There are so many other things which you need to take care if you are dealing with VAT laws and if you are registered with VAT. The third thing is which you need to take care if you are closing your business. If you're dealing in the goods, not in the services, then you have to pay 5% on your closing stock. The reason of this same is that you have purchased those goods or you have imported those goods and you have already claimed 5% on those goods. So when you are closing your business, you have to pay 5% on those goods. So you need to assess your cash flow in that way, that if you are going to close your business, then you should have the 5% of your closing stock value so that you can pay to the government. Other than that, you will not get the clearance certificate from FTA. And without that, there is no liquidation possible from now onwards. Then the fourth one is clear all the due liabilities which are pending to the FTA. So without payment of liability penalties and any other liability of tax and interest on tax, there will not be any clearance certificate and any deregistration process possible from FTA side. So these are just example I can say, because the time is constraint, and there are so many other things which you need to take care when you are selling your business, or if you are managing, if you are already in business and you want to continue the same, then you have to manage your cash flow, and you have to review your invoicing method and reviewing your bad debts. How you can manage your cash flow through reviewing your invoicing methods and reviewing your bad debts. Let me explain in a very short way, if I can do with the time constraint. The invoicing method is what people are facing in this time is that they invoice to the customer, and the credit period is 6 months or even it is 6 days. But the situation is that you can't force someone. Okay, the legal things are there, the contractual liabilities are there, you can sue in front of him. Those all the things are there. But the important thing is whether you want to do that, and whether that process is going to, without any efforts and without any money going to continue. No. So what you can do in these cases, then when you're invoicing to your customer, do the pro forma invoices, not the tax invoices. If you're doing tax invoicing, that it becomes your liability to collect the money and pay to the FTA in the quarter you issued the invoice. So if you have issued pro forma invoice, then it can delay your liability in terms of in terms of VAT towards FTA. So when you receive from the customer, then you can pay to the FTA. Otherwise, if the customer is not going to pay, then you have to pay from your own pocket to fulfill your tax liabilities towards FTA. The second thing is reviewing your bad debts. So you review your bad debts, whether there are some invoice you already made and you already paid VAT on the same, but on on those invoices, whether you receive the payments or not. This is again a big question for your cash flow in today's time. So review your bad debts. If there is bad debt, there is already any bad debt in your business, then claim back from the authority, claim back from the FT. They can give you, but the only thing is you have to prove that they are already bad debts. So this is the thing which you can do, and very few people are aware about this. Okay, you can claim back from FTA or not, but yes, you can. So these are very small tips, guys, which I can give you to bring some positivity in the current business scenarios. But my the next speaker of the event is going to bring a more positivity, because he is going to tell you that how you can increase your business even in this COVID-19 crisis. So this is only from my side, from VAT perspective. Thank you very much for listening me. Hope the information will be informative for you. So Errol, it is
Thank
up
you so
to
much, Vibha. Thank you
you.
so much. I mean, it's very engaging, very interesting, and thank you for taking the time to do this even when you're in lockdown at home in Mumbai. But what you've shared with us, I think, is very, very valuable information about the VAT. It's still fresh to a lot of the veteran business organizers. There are a few questions that have come in. We've seen questions from Mr. Amit and some others who've asked about tax, and we hopefully will run that by you in the panel discussion. But I thank you for your time. It's now time for us to bring in our next
Thank
and our
you.
final
Thank
speaker
you.
for this evening. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.